Metro Glass here. We're going to do a quick little tutorial on the referrals or work orders or dispatches, whatever you want to call them, for Safelite Solutions, particularly working with State Farm jobs. And this is going to be the same for anything. So first thing I'm going to do in my software is I'm going to go ahead and set up for it to be State Farm SGC group. And so now once I do that, my account is set up to where all I got to do is just key in the information. It's already switched over to their pricing profiles and everything. So let's look at the dispatch. First thing, this is the dispatch. This for the State Farm on Safelite. It's also the same for every other insurance company. It's just the information that's going to change is going to be right here in the middle. Okay, so let's look at the first thing we need to pay attention to is going to be our referral number. It's a 6-digit number up here. Because I redacted the first 3 digits, we're just going to go with 000996. And so I'm going to come over here and just enter 000996 on my work order. And then we're going to see here, after our referral, the next information I'm going to need is my date of loss. And so we can see it's right there on the referral. And that's going to be 7/31/25. So we're going to go back over to the job here and we're going to key in 7/31/25. All right. So after that, the next information we're going to come to is going to be our vehicle information. Now, here's where you need to pay attention. They are going to give you the year, make, and model of the vehicle. They will not give you the VIN number. Contact the customer and get the VIN number. Sometimes there is a part number there, and that part number is wrong. So always get the VIN number. Always confirm that VIN number, and make sure that it gives you the correct windshield, and it lines up with the part number if they do have a part number, because sometimes they'll put a part number right here, but it's not. It sometimes will be wrong. And for example on that, there was a glass shop I was with just recently, about 30 days ago. I was doing their recalibration for them on this insurance job. It's for BMW. Safelite Solutions said it needed to be, yada, 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 yada. And we got there with that glass. And when I jumped in and started taking the camera apart and looked at it, I go, whoa. This ain't gonna work. So, and they even too, when their guys got there, they looked at it like, I don't think that's gonna work. And so I confirmed it, and yeah, it's not gonna work. So do run your VIN numbers, make sure it's all there. But as you can see, we got a 2021 Volvo XC90. We are doing a windshield replacement. It will tell you if it's going to be a rock jet repair, door glass, or if it's going to be a rear glass. But on this, you can see it's a windshield, and you'll see that the deductible is $0, which is the best that we can have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into my invoice. We're going to skip down here, and we're going to key in that information. So we got a 2021. We got a Volvo, and it was the XC90, and so there we go. We're doing a windshield. Now, when we ran this VIN number for her, it was a 4212, so we're going to add that to our invoice, okay? And so it's been added now. The thing is, it's already got discounts on here, but you need to also check your work order invoice for that. And if we look, I believe this Ford Collision Alert, so it needs recalibration as well. So we're going to add recal, and it would be a static, and there we go. And 330 because that's what they pay for State Farm. So let's go look at the next thing on the invoice, okay? So this is where your windshield list is, and what this is saying WS windshield list price minus 26%. Okay, so right there, windshield. They're going to pay list minus 26%. So we come over here. Here is our list price right here. Software's already got that. Minus 26%. So we need to take and alter this discount to 26. And there we go. It's already adjusted my price right there now. And so then let's bring this back up. $46 per hour. And let's go confirm $46 per hour. And then NAGS hours is what it's using. So 4.9 is what NAGS says I can bill for this vehicle. So 4.9 is what we key in for this vehicle. And now let's go back to our referral and let's see what's next in line that we're going to need. And we're just going to go down the line here. So next up, we've got CT list. So CT stands for it's your tempered glass. It's going to be your door glasses, your rear glasses, anything that's a tempered glass. This is what you would use. So it'd be list price minus also 26% right there. And then labor on that would be $46 per hour. Next up is going to be our kits. So this is where you need to pay attention to. These kit prices do vary. And so we got a WS kit. And so this is going to be our $28 is what you would bill for your kit. And your kit is going to be your damn urethane primer. Then you've got your high modulus This right here, high modulus glue. So if you're using high modulus glue, 1 tube, $90, 2 tubes, $90. And then last on the kits is going to be your fast cure, okay? So if you're using fast cure, they give you 2 tubes of it, $28. So, and then of course the last information is just please show the following information on your vehicle. That's what's important on here. There's other notices that'll appear right here. And so sometimes they'll say you need to get ADAS approval. Sometimes they'll say you need to get OEM approval. Sometimes they'll say you don't need to get OEM approval and you can use OEM glass if the cost of the glass is under a, like $2,000, and they'll usually be right down here in the bottom part of this paragraph. So, but let's go back to the kit. So our kit, we're going to do high modulus, and so it's going to be the $90 for this is what we're going to add to that. So we got a high modulus a urethane on here. Cost is going to be $90. So we get to change this from 28 to 90. And then we got our rain pad, of course. And so we'll have to add that, and then our static calibration, which would be 330, and so total cost would be this. Now, when you go to Safelite's website, I can't go into Safelite's website right now and bring that up and show you how to set that up. But what I can do, and let me do this. Let's just key in our customer. So this is going to be, I don't know, bestie, friend. And let's just say that bestie friend lives at 555 Friends Lane, and that's going to be, and also this is going to be on your invoice. She was Mississippi, and so we're just going to add that in there, and then of course it fills all the software in, and then you need a phone number, and then we're going to cancel that, and deductible was $0. Policy number will show up on the Safelite website when you go in and look at it. It will have the policy number. And then, of course, you need your VIN number there. And in our software, we actually get the VIN numbers when we scan the vehicle with a QR, not a QR, with a little code, whatever. So anyway, let's look at our job. So this is what our invoice looks like for Safelite. At the bottom, we will get a signature as well through the app. From the customer, you will need to sign the work order invoice here yourself and date it as well, and you'll need to attach those. And then of course, if you're doing recalibration, you need to include the recalibration report. So when you go into Safelite's website, just to break it down, first thing you can do is key in your password. And once you get your password in, you go in, you're going to click on open invoices or open jobs, and you're going to see this job right here. So 000996 is the job that I'm looking for. If you don't see it, you can use the search in the top of their website, and you can, it will pull it up that way. Once you get going into it, you're going to need to then invoice them. So click on invoice, and then, which is going to be top middle, and then you're going to want to do new next part. And then whenever you do new next part, you're going to want to add your windshield. So go ahead and do foreign windshield 4212 GTYN, and it will come up and it will already fill in your list price for you, which is nice. But then it's going to ask you what's the billable amount for it. And so go ahead and key in 1024.16. And then with that, you're going to see labor. And so key your labor. It's going to be over to the right of that column that you're working in. And you're going to key in the 225.40, followed by then your kit, which is $90. Now, here's where you're going to have to add 2 more things, okay? On the whole work order, when you're in the Safelite's website and invoicing, you're going to do a rain pad. So rain pad will just go into miscellaneous. And so add new miscellaneous item, and then key in the part number, RSK-1845, and key in your price that you're selling it to for $45.58. Okay. Then the next thing you have to do is do recalibration. So add that. Key in static, and so it's recal-RTL-static is the next part number. And then for our insurance company, they're giving us $330 for it. And then you'll have to go down and you'll need to put your sales tax, which would be $118.66 for Mississippi. And if you're in other states, it could be higher or lower. And then, of course, they will automatically calculate your amount due, and they will pay you within 3 to 4 weeks, depending on it. But make sure you get your signatures. Make sure you fill that out. Hopefully, this breaks it down a little bit more. Again, recap real quick is going to be referral numbers, top right. Below that is your loss, data loss, vehicle information. Customer information is above the vehicle's information. Never trust the part number. Always get the VIN number, okay? Once you've got your vehicle information, the glass found, and you're going to fill out your invoice, you got your windshield. It's your list minus whatever it says right here. For me, 26%. And then your labor is $46 per hour. And that's going to change from insurance to insurance, company to company. So make sure you verify that. Below this is your tempered glass, and that's my list. And then labor costs. And then you got your kit, high modulus glue kit, and then your fast cure kit. And then, of course, the required information, which is standard on every single job for Safelite. So I hope this helped y'all. Thank y'all very much. Y'all have a good one.